This is a Tech Talk where we discuss how ISVs around region use Azure as part of their solutions. Hello everyone, welcome to the Tech Talk. My name is Daphne Chung. I'm the Partner Technology Strategist supporting Microsoft ISVs in the Asia Pacific region. One of the ISVs I support, which I'm excited to be featuring at our Tech Talk today, is OpenLearning. Joining us on this talk is Mr. David Collien, CTO of OpenLearning, who leads a team of talented engineers in Sydney, Australia. David, welcome to the talk. Can you tell us a bit about you and your company?
Thank you very much, Daphne. We founded OpenLearning to bring greater access to high quality education, and we do that via our online lifelong learning platform. As the CTO, my role is to oversee all the technology decisions, but I also have a background as a teacher and also an academic background in the learning sciences. And I have found that having both the practical and theoretical understanding of teaching and learning is critical in shaping the technology that we use to improve teaching and learning online.
I'm interested to know the philosophy behind OpenLearning and how does Azure allow you to build solutions around that?
Yes, at OpenLearning, we have a philosophy that learning happens best when people are working together and they're actively collaborating and constructing knowledge. And they're sharing that knowledge with each other as well, co-creating as they learn. So our open learning platform facilitates this, and we have recently built a new suite of co-creation tools for open learning. And to do that, we're using static web apps, a brand new service from Azure. So this is a new service that lets us deploy a React single page app with an Azure function backend all together, and it handles all the static storage, the CDN, the API routing, the CI/CD, everything that's required. And this new stack of ours is completely written in TypeScript, and it integrates with the main open learning application just like a plugin. So it lets us prototype new learning collaboration tools for the open learning platform, particularly activities where multiple users are sharing data and interacting with one another. These are like our multiplayer activities.
Multiplayer activities sounds like a great fun feature, just like in a game environment. How did you handle a complex situation like this?
Well, when you have multiple users interacting with one another at the same time, you also need a way for their interactions to sync up in real time. Signalr is the technology that we're using for this. It allows us to send messages from our backends to our users on web and mobile clients in real time. It runs completely serverless on Azure as well, and easily integrates with static web apps. And it provides the real-time functionality that we're looking for completely out of the box. So once we built this new architecture, we also realized that it had future potential as an easy way for us to build integrations with other applications as well, things like Microsoft Teams, which are also designed to bring our users together. So we have since used it to build a Microsoft Teams meetings app, which is built in as a plugin into OpenLearning courses. So this is now a built-in widget that can just be dragged into an activity by a course creator. And also working on the app as well.
I also want to shout out that we now have OpenLearning as an app within Teams that you can install and use it to search courses directly inside Teams interface. Next time you use Teams, check out the OpenLearning app to get an idea of how you can also integrate your own solutions within Teams. David, you mentioned using static web apps and Signalr as part of your cloud-native architecture. Have you come across any other useful Azure features that you'd like to mention?
Yeah, well, the majority of our stack has been running on Azure scale sets. We've recently experimented with various technologies that Azure has on Alpha, so we can sort of power some of our newest features with completely serverless architectures as well. So apart from the static web apps and Signalr, we've also been putting Azure Function apps to good use as well. This is primarily for asynchronous tasks which ingest events from Azure Service Bus or event hubs. This has let us explore using event sourcing and CQRS style of patterns, and this lets us have much better performance and scalability to some of our features which were previously bottlenecked by just a request response type of architecture. So some of these use Service Bus and Azure Functions together to collect usage metrics for our courses and institutions. It keeps track of things like how much time learners are spending on various activities within the platform, and anything that's powered by events coming through. So Azure Functions also provides us with this functionality, as well as creating sort of simple middlewares between our main applications and third-party services, which we're building those integrations with. So it's a very useful layer.
I understand that OpenLearning adopts open source as a main part of your technology stack. Can you describe to us how you are utilizing Azure serverless technologies to host and serve your solutions?
Yes, that's right. At OpenLearning, most of our backends are built for Python or Node.js in TypeScript environments. So it's been very useful that the underlying Azure function apps or app services can be written in both Python and TypeScript. This matches the open source technologies that we use with the rest of our application. So we can build libraries that run on both our scale set driven applications as well as our function applications, and the same technology runs in every environment. So while our serverless journey has thus far focused on building these new microservices in and around around the main application, our journey doesn't really end there. We have this new confidence in Azure's serverless technology, so we're making plans to migrate more and more of our core Python application from the scale sets over to simpler things like Azure App Service deployments as well.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk about your Azure experience. Do you have any last tips that you'd like to share with our tech community?
Yeah, the ideal day is one where you spend all your time working on making the product better, enhancing its feature set, being able to innovate in your field. So in our case, that's education technology. The more you make serverless, the less time you can spend managing infrastructure, and the more time you can spend doing what really matters. And for us, that's building the best educational platform for our learners and educators.
Thank you again to David from OpenLearning. Have a good day.
Thank you very much for having me.